Hi everyone, Rob here with today's contact update, or Helen being called here in the Philippines. Currently is a tropical storm, but you can see the bulk of this convection already moving off towards Luzon, so a very dangerous storm at that. And it is currently about 14 Universal Time here, though, on the 12th going into the 13th. I do like to note the time because things very well can be changing here into the coming days, so please continue to check for our newest updates. What I can tell you, though, is at this time, this storm is a fairly knocked off towards the side per se. You actually have the center of circulation just here towards the east of that bulk of convection, and to the low-lying area is actually right around here. On the other hand, where most of the thunderstorm activity is off here towards the west. And then what I say by wind shear is that it's coming in from the northeast. Basically, all this air is flowing in, kind of knocking those cloud tops off towards the side, away from that center of circulation. Regardless, there is widespread rain showers on tap here for the Philippines. I'm talking about 200 millimeters or plus. It seems like we just got done talking about Kurogi here after that moved off towards the north, and now this one just formed up in its wake. Unfortunately, much of the Philippines continuing to recover from last week's devastating floods out across this area. So with this storm system in mind, let's actually take a look at some of the model guidance given for the accumulation in the next 72 hours. And this is what I'm talking about here. Look at this rain totals along the northeast coast. Now that's where that bulk of the system is going to be moving. It's basically tracking in a northwesterly direction, likely just clipping or just off the coast of northeastern Luzon around the Apari area. I know the models, or excuse me, the official agencies are a little bit farther towards the north. I do expect it to drift towards the south, but look at here. Off towards the west, this bulk right in there. Let me clear up the screen real quick. This bulk right in here. Now this is that enhanced monsoonal flow we've been talking about, and that includes the Metro Manila area. 200 millimeters plus of rainfall is very likely. Not as intense as we saw last week, but the problem is this ground is saturated, and any more rainfall on top of that is not going to be able to soak up at all, as we seen last week, but even more so. So that very well could exacerbate the flooding, but not just that, landslides are going to be of severe risk. Now here's a look at the microwave imagery. You can see that the storm is tracking basically west at this time. Here's Apari right around that area actually as we loop back, but you see near LeBron that kind of shows where Apari is right there on northeastern Luzon. The storm is starting to make a little bit jog towards the north, but the center of circulation is right in here. With that said, as you see that center of circulation, once again, the bulk of the convection is there towards the west. Unfortunately, that's where the bulk of convection is going to be making a landfall. Now, for all intents and purposes, it says JMA is currently saying that they're not expecting a direct landfall of the system, but that center of circulation is one part of the storm. The bulk of the thunderstorm activity is just towards the west, so you likely will be seeing a landfall of that bulk of thunderstorm activity, which is going to be the worst part of the storm, at least given the current outlook on it and its current tendencies. So northeastern Luzon, all the way from the Sierra Madre National Park right in here, down there towards the south, you are really just going to be getting the heaviest rainfall out of this around here, but also as those feeder bands come up, coming in from the west. And then always remember the cone of air off here towards the east. Taiwan definitely going to be watching out for this, but also across northern Luzon. This is from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center. They're actually expecting this to become a typhoon before making a second landfall, or actually its first landfall according to this track, just towards the east of Hong Kong in the long range. So definitely going to be watching out there. Once again, though, it still could swing all the way up there towards Taiwan, which totally would disrupt it, or even as far south as Hanai, given the current track. Granted, though, the next 24 to 48 hours, really the main topic, though, is going to be that rainfall across the Philippines. And as we look at the streamline analysis, I really love using this current tool right in here. It does show that the storm likely is going to take kind of a westerly track. Just analyzing the streamline analysis, the overall background flow. So my personal opinion, I really do strongly think there is going to be a landfalling system along northeastern Luzon as this continues to work off in that direction. That's just my opinion. Don't always make sure to follow the official agencies, though, the WMO ones, Pagasa, and the Japan Meteorological Agency, all warning on this tropical system at this time. But here's a look at the GFS model outlook as it continues to track in that northwest northwesterly direction, just clipping northeastern Luzon according to this model. But once again, look at that band right there setting up over Manila. That's talking about 50 to 100 millimeters, possibly within a several-hour period, not just over a 24-hour period, but within a several-hour period, and some of these stronger storms possibly, that definitely could bring some flooding. So if you are in one of those flooded areas or in an area that definitely is waterlogged, be prepared for further flooding and take the proper precautions. Do stay out of those low-lying areas, especially near rivers. Flash flooding could be of a severe risk, and also if you're in a landslide-prone area, I know Mount Pinatubo is one clear example of where you might have a lahar that is very loose, and that could cause a landslide. So definitely going to continue to watch this here in the coming days. Please continue to check our live interactive update on the website for the latest information and news on anything developing here with this storm across the Philippines. But I also want to talk about Japan. Severe activity is really starting to flare up here. I know that already been some wind reports there around central Honshu, upwards of 86 kilometers per hour. So very gusty winds here. Also seeing about 50 to 60 millimeters an hour down here in Kyushu, all due to this frontal area that you can see is cruising out of China across the Sea of Japan here. Very severe weather all along that frontal line, especially along the west coast, but even over towards Tokyo throughout the day. Tomorrow on your Tuesday, you very well could be expecting some widespread thunderstorm activity. So definitely going to be watching this here in the coming days. But speaking of Japan, I will be leaving Japan here on Wednesday for about a week and a half, not for a long period of time, so don't worry about that. Just heads up. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of comments if there's any newer video updates. I'm not going to be doing them. Please go to Weathercaster Pat's channel at RP Weather. In fact, I will put the link here towards his channels in the top right. He has plenty of information on all these tropical systems, but also WesternPacificWeather.com. We continue to put updates, daily satellite analysis, all sorts of information out on the web page here. Also a link to the Philippine Red Cross right there if you want to go and donate some money for the flood relief currently taking place across the Philippines there. But thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. And as always, stay safe out there. Have a great day.